The film opens by introducing a man named Bob. He is a bartender at a small, seemingly ordinary bar in the city. But it turns out the bar where Bob works hides a major secret. It is known as a drop bar, where the mafia temporarily leaves their ill-gotten cash. Since the money cannot be deposited in banks, it is left at the bar each night and retrieved later by mafia operatives. The problem is that the bar owner never knows in advance when the bar will be used as a drop location, because all decisions are made entirely by the mafia.
You never know up front when your bar becomes a drop bar.
One night, Bob serves a group of patrons who are commemorating the mysterious death of an old friend 10 years earlier. Sympathetic, Bob offers them a round of drinks on the house. But his gesture is immediately rebuked by the bar manager, who also happens to be his cousin, Marv. Marv reminds him that they are running a business, not a charity. Moreover, the bar is owned by the mafia, and they have no room for sentiment.
Gotta be a point where you move on. Stop scoring free drinks off a corpse.
The next day, Bob goes to church. Although his everyday world is among bars and mafia, Bob maintains his spiritual side. That evening, while walking home, he hears a whimper from a trash bin. Investigating, he finds an injured puppy left inside. Soon, the homeowner, a woman named Nadia, steps out and sees Bob at her yard. She is initially suspicious, but when Bob explains about the puppy, Nadia believes him. She checks his ID and takes a photo of his face just in case, then reveals she used to work in an animal rescue unit. Knowing Bob feels uncertain about caring for the dog, they agree that Nadia will foster it for 2 days.
Please, just a couple days, I'll come back. Thank you. Saturday.
The next night, 2 men break into the bar. Unaware that the establishment is part of a mafia money route, they barge in as it's closing time and point guns at Bob and Marv. They force Marv to gather all the cash and put it into a bag. Marv warns them that the money isn't theirs. It belongs to dangerous individuals. The robbers don't care. In that tense moment, Bob notices one of them is wearing a broken watch.
What?
After they seize the cash, the robbers flee, leaving the beaten bartenders behind. Not long after, the police arrive. Detective Torres, leading the investigation, recognizes Bob as someone often seen attending church. When questioned, Bob says he cannot identify the robbers. They wore masks, but mentions the broken watch one of them had.
And it was stopped?
Yeah, that's right. It says 6:15.
You the bartender here?
Yeah.
How much did they take you for?
Well, whatever was in the register.
After the police leave, Marv scolds Bob for letting slip details about the watch. He worries the mafia will suspect them of involvement, given the large sum stolen, $5,000. The next day, Bob returns to Nadia's to pick up the puppy. Feeling unprepared, he asks Nadia to accompany him to buy supplies to care for the dog. They name it Rocco.
He likes it.
From that moment on, their relationship begins to deepen. Unbeknownst to them, a mysterious man named Eric is watching from afar. A few days later, as Bob and Marv shovel snow behind the bar, a car pulls up carrying a group of mafia. Among them is Chavka Yumarov, the big boss and rightful owner of the bar. Chavka suspects that someone inside might be behind the robbery. But since the robbers were masked, no one's identity can be confirmed.
You know this guy? No. But I know this guy.
He orders Bob and Marv to recover the stolen money. Marv grows suspicious. He believes the order is a trap. If they manage to return the money, they could be accused of orchestrating the heist. In other words, they're being lured deeper into a dangerous game.
Find my fucking money, eh?
If we knew where the money was, that would mean that we knew who robbed us, which would mean we were in on it, which means they would shoot us right in the fucking face.
Meanwhile, Detective Torres discusses the case with his partner, revealing that Marv's bar has been controlled by the mafia since Chavka's father, Papa Yumarov, took it over. Torres suspects Chavka may have orchestrated the robbery himself to undermine his father's operation, even though Papa remains untouched. Secretly, Marv meets with Fitz, one of the robbers, and it becomes clear that Marv planned the heist. He is furious that Fitz beat up the bar's guard and drew police attention, and he orders Fitz to destroy the broken watch.
Keep your head down. Stay here. We'd only be seen together, remember?
The next morning, Bob plays with Rocco in the park where Nadia offers to help care for the dog now that her work hours are reduced. Bob gratefully accepts. After he leaves, Eric approaches, makes a brief comment about the dog, and walks off, arousing Bob's suspicion. Later at home, Bob finds Eric at his door, insisting that Rocco belongs to him and even shows the dog's microchip number. Bob refuses to return Rocco, recalling how poorly Eric treated him. Eric threatens to report him for animal cruelty and grabs Bob's umbrella before leaving.
You got my dog.
Then Bob meets Nadia at a cafe. She appreciates Bob's respectful demeanor and reveals that her neck scar came from an accident using a potato peeler while high. Their conversation is interrupted when they are asked to leave because of the dog.
Dog goes, you guys go, okay?
Back at the bar, Marv confesses his fear that Eric is following Bob. While dumping trash behind the bar, they discover a plastic bag containing bloody money and a severed hand still wearing the broken watch, obviously from one of the robbers. Bob carefully wraps the hand, and Marv notes how skillfully he does it.
Like you've done it 1,000 times.
Suddenly, Eric enters the bar, greets Bob, and mentions Nadia. Bob explains to Marv that Eric claims ownership of Rocco. Marv grows more anxious and reveals that Eric is suspected of having murdered a man named Richie 10 years ago, a man whom the bar's patrons still remember.
Been in the joint a couple times. The guy who says he killed Richie Whelan. He's fucking squashed that guy. So you watch that fucking kid.
Eric has a long criminal history, prison time, stays in a mental hospital, and is very dangerous. But Bob shows no fear. That night, Bob dumps the severed hand into the sea. When Detective Torres returns, he asks about Eric, saying Eric might be connected to Richie's disappearance. Bob denies knowing him.
We haven't caught them yet.
Nah, you think this guy maybe robbed the bar?
Richie Whelan. I'm hearing here and there that this guy got something to do with the Whelan disappearance. Really good looking dog.
Then Bob asks Nadia whether she knows Eric. Nadia becomes angry and leaves.
So you don't know him?
No, I don't know him, no.
Funny. That's funny because the way you said it, I figured.
I don't need this shit, okay?
I don't know.
I ain't on my ass about it. You're just arguing with me to argue with me.
Wait. Don't wait.
Don't you fucking touch me.
That night, Chavka meets them at the bar to collect the money and informs them the bar will be used as a drop location on Super Bowl night. Nadia later apologizes to Bob, admitting she used to date Eric, who, as it turns out, was aggressive and dangerous. She also warns Bob that Eric was the killer of Richie, but Bob, already aware, isn't surprised. Though their bond grows stronger, Bob refuses to act romantically, only escorting Nadia home. At her doorstep, Bob discovers Eric's umbrella in Rocco's crate, a sign that Eric has entered Nadia's home. Meanwhile, Marv picks up Fitz, pretending he needs help. Fitz is cautious after his sibling's recent death, but Marv assures him there's no danger. After Fitz gets into the car, Marv runs him over and switches vehicles.
Well, look, what we got here is a risk versus reward kind of thing now.
Don't make any fucking jokes. Last time anybody saw my brother alive, he got into a car with a...
You didn't close it.
I closed that fucking thing.
Not very well.
It becomes clear that Marv killed Fitz's brother and left the hand for Bob to find, framing Chavka as the culprit. Marv then meets Eric in a restaurant and lies that Bob is scared of him. He suggests involving Eric in the Super Bowl heist to please everyone.
And now you want it back. Beat the crap out of it and you put it in the garbage can.
I felt bad about it.
When you came into the bar the other night, you made my cousin look. You don't see that often.
Are you fucking with me?
Me?
Yeah.
No. I think there's a way that you and I can sort that out and both be happy.
Torres, digging deeper, obtains Eric's psychological records and finds alarming information.
Well,
Well, I'll be damned.
What? Not what you were expecting?
Meanwhile, Bob visits Eric and still refuses to return Rocco. Eric demands $10,000 in ransom, a plan Marv previously shared with Fitz. Bob remains calm and doesn't resort to violence.
Just get my money, 10 a.m. your place, all right? Remember what I did to Richie Wheeler? Yeah.
Marv later visits Bob, claiming he will not be at the bar on Super Bowl night due to illness. Bob suspects he's plotting something. Bob hides his savings and a pistol in the bar's drawer. That night, Eric breaks into Nadia's home and forces her to come to the bar. Inside, as Bob receives money from the mafia, he's shocked to see Nadia with Eric. Meanwhile, Marv lines the car's trunk with plastic, showing he's ready for bloodshed. Eric enters the bar, and Bob hands over the $10,000 he's prepared. But then Eric reveals his true intention. He's after the mafia's real stash from the bar's vault, which unlocks automatically for 90 seconds at intervals. In that moment, Bob realizes everything. The $10,000 story was a ruse, and Marv planned this from the very start to steal the mafia's money. Eric asks how much Nadia means to Bob, feigns ignorance of Marv's whereabouts. Bob uses the opportunity to reveal a dark secret. 10 years ago, Marv had a gambling debt to a man. Marv won big at a casino and paid it off. But the man kept coming to the bar demanding money and making threats. Bob, fed up, executed the man without anyone knowing. He shot him twice in the face, dismembered the body, and hid it in a tank beneath the bar. Astonishingly, the man was Richie, contrary to rumors that Eric had killed him.
My sweet cousin Marv. Yeah, but he helped you kill Richie Wheeler, right?
I killed Richie Wheeler, all right?
Sure you did. Fucking punk.
Disgusted, Bob finishes off Eric. Behind his gentle demeanor, Bob is a cold-blooded killer. He warns Nadia that someone like Eric will keep coming back and must be eliminated.
Todd, you embarrass me.
Can I?
Why not?
But no, you'll think I'll talk. I won't talk, Bob.
I know you won't. Go on now.
Nadia leaves terrified but alive. Eric receives a call from Marv, but Bob remains silent. He now knows Marv is the mastermind. Bob dismembers Eric's body and wraps it. Chavka's men arrive, take the money and Eric's body parts, and offer Bob full control of the bar, acknowledging that they know Marv betrayed them and have removed him.
Speaking of friends, your cousin Marv. So why are you trying to take my money? You and your druggy friends leave my money alone, and I'll pay you a ticket to a nice, quiet place.
You fit?
Yeah. And to break his legs, but he fit fine.
Take down his name, put up yours. Bob's Bar. Get some rest, eh?
Good night.
The next day, Detective Torres returns, reports Marv's death and Eric's disappearance. Police records show Eric was in a mental hospital at the time Richie went missing, making Eric's involvement impossible. Torres subtly hints his suspicion toward Bob.
Eric D, he was in this bar, Super Bowl Sunday. You don't see anything? He just took credit for the Wheeling hit because nobody else wanted to. We thought it would help his street cred. He didn't kill Wheeling. It's just this is last place he was ever seen, and then just like Richie Wheeling. No one ever sees you coming, do they, Bob?
That afternoon, Bob visits Nadia and apologizes for bringing her into danger, asking her to promise not to see him again. But instead, Nadia invites Bob to go with her.